9:02 on the Frost Johnny and Frank show. And every Monday, Christian Hand joins us in the studio to break down a rock song for us. And here he is once again. Good to see you.
Something to confess. I'm gay. Oh, wait, the voice changer's not on?
No.
Not that there's
Hang on,
anything
can you
wrong
put
with
the
that.
voice changer on Christian so he can so he
It's
can
Mr.
come,
Hand.
so he can come out.
Again. Hello, everybody.
It wouldn't be a surprise to anyone. All my friends would be like, oh, finally, for crying out loud. I actually wish that I was gay. It'd be so much easier to get laid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know,
You just look at a guy and you'd be like, "You want to?" And he's like, "Sure."
I had my friend Richard. He used to live behind. That's my friend
You used to
Richard.
live behind Peter?
Richard was
AKA
behind.
He was a real
Dick.
a-hole.
He used to live behind Studs or whatever it was on Santa
You know
Monica
Frosty.
Boulevard. Yeah,
Richard was behind Studs.
He was behind Studs,
Okay.
and he said that he and his roommate used to have a competition of like they would walk, they would stand at the entrance to the bar and count. They'd be like, all right, how quick? And they would go in and literally sit down at the bar, buy a dude a drink, and be like, hey, you want to skip back to my apartment and hang out for a little bit? And it was like 30 seconds, and the dude would be like, yeah, done, we're go.
Yeah.
Like there's no
Gay guys and
grinder.
straight guys are exactly the same. Just
Yeah.
what they're into is different.
Right.
Yeah.
And it
Like
would just
a
be-
straight guy would bang a stranger
Yeah.
behind a dumpster, but the woman's
If
like,
it wasn't for the horrible aftertaste, I'd be gay as hell.
I mean, if you could like sit around with your boys and like watching a football game and be like, "Hey, do you mind just quickly while we just
No
in the
problem, no
halftime?" and your buddy would be like, "Oh, dude, of course."
Yeah. When you go outside to play cornhole, it means something totally different.
See you in the yard. Anyway, we're here for this.
yes.
It is, of course, from 1972's 1984 album. Boy, went on Frosty's like, "What is this from 1982?" It's like, yeah, it's from the album 1984 from the year 1984. It is, of course, Panama, which is epic. Van Halen. This is the greatest record they've done. There is no argument to me. I'm not somebody who hates Van Hagar. I think Van Hagar is also 5150 is such a strong record. But this is the two brothers, of course, Alex and Eddie. This is Alex Van Halen.
There's nothing like being 14 years old when this thing came out. It's
Just
every-
relentless.
Oh.
Track after track after track. I mean, so, of course, if you've listened prior when I've done Van Halen, so the band actually started out with Alex playing guitar and Eddie playing drums. And Eddie came home one day to find his brother playing Wipeout on the kit and was like, I can't do that, so I guess I should probably learn how to play guitar. And that's how that ended up happening.
Wow.
So he was a phenomenal drummer as well as one of the sickest guitar players in the world. But this guy, Ted Templeton, cutting the production on these records. It's like a drum sound. Nobody else has had a drum sound like this. This is, of course, a monster. This one's a little bit of a mellow track for the Alex, but he does some really cool business. And
How big was his kit?
97 pieces. My favorite photo that I show when I do a session live and have the photos up is he had one that was sort of like diamond encrusted almost, and it had a fire extinguisher in front of it, which is just like you got a big huge one in your pants if you're putting a fire extinguisher
Check out
in
that
front of it.
hose.
Christian is a drummer. His bass pedal sounds more like boom, boom, boom as opposed to boom, boom. Can you adjust? You know what I mean? Sounds electronic almost.
It actually is. That's a very good observation. So one of the things that Ted did was he was triggering a drum machine back in the day. Was really very difficult to do that, but he was triggering a drum machine on top of the regular drums to get it to punch through and to be that tight, because one of the things about the, like a big round bass drum is it has trouble cutting through a lot of raucous mess on top of it, and there's a lot of raucousness on top of the old Van Halen. So he did. That's why the toms always sound like they sound weirdly sort of electronic. It's because they were. Of course, on bass, one of my favorites, Michael Anthony. And the secret weapon about Michael Anthony is he was the only person that could harmonize with David Lee Roth. So when you hear those vocals later on, that's actually Michael Anthony and David Lee Roth singing. The other two dudes didn't do any singing at all because they're not very good at it by all accounts. But Michael Anthony, I mean, when you enter a song like that, you're in it to win it. One of my favorite things is like how completely human and sloppy these bass lines are when they're not cut up. You don't need them to be. Put the drums in, you get rock and roll, everybody. They don't write them like this anymore. So they rock and roll like this, and then the pre-chorus is my favorite bit. Right here. Come on. I mean, this is like straight, brutal rock and roll, man. No joke. So, back in the day, these guys are from Pasadena and SoCal, so they were playing at the Whiskey a lot and had huge fan base playing at the Whiskey when they were like 18 and 19 years old. And a guy by the name of Rodney Bingenheimer convinced another friend of his by the name of Gene Simmons to come and see them playing at the Whiskey, and they went, and Gene Simmons fell in love with it. It was like, oh, I have to sign it. But at that point, they weren't, I don't think they were called Van Halen yet. They had a number of names. One of my favorites is the Broken Combs, a terrible band name. The Trojan Rubber Company, I thought was pretty good. That's a pretty good one. And then they decided that they call themselves Genesis.
No.
Yeah, it didn't really stick. There was already a band played called that because featuring Mr. Philip Collins on drums, obviously. So then David Lee Roth was the one who suggested that they call themselves Van Halen, but David Lee Roth wasn't the original singer in the band. The reason that David Lee Roth became a singer in the band is because they needed to borrow a PA from somebody, so they went to get a PA, and instead of borrowing it, they were going to rent it, and instead of paying the money to rent it, they were just like, why don't you be the lead singer? So David Lee Roth was only the lead singer in the band because he had a PA that they were going to rent and they didn't want to pay
that's
for.
just destiny. You cannot fight
Can't-
destiny.
No,
It just,
it's going to happen.
Right.
Could you imagine meeting like a 19-year-old David Lee Roth and just being like, oh, no, you should totally be the singer in our band, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So then they called themselves a bunch of things before they became Van Halen.
Eddie and the Gang.
Eddie and the Gang. But this is the best part, is that Gene Simmons wanted them to call themselves Daddy Longlegs. He's not always right, that guy. He's more wrong than right. Can you imagine? And now, Panama from Daddy Longlegs. But it's cruising, man. I mean, this is just this guitar solo part. This is where he earns a paycheck. So good. This is the breakdown bit, obviously. Deep. This bit on the vocals is so good, I can't wait to get to it. All right, so before we get to the guitars, there's actually a real car in this thing. So they took, I don't know if anybody knows about cars in the room, but
Frosty's a gearhead.
Gearhead.
Gearhead. Did you see what I was driving over the weekend?
I missed it. What was it?
I'll show you pictures. I went out in the new Stratus, $750,000 car. It's mind-blowing.
Where'd you steal that?
It was parked outside of a Ralph's.
It was him and Richard were out back of Studs, and
all you got to do is just and a guy will let you drive
you
his
can
car.
drive it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Maybe you can drive my car.
So they put a real car in this thing because the song is about the car Panama. When we listen to the vocals, I'm pretty sure it's just about David Lee Roth's penis. But he said the reason that he wrote it about a car was because he had read a criticism that said all his songs were about sex, drugs, getting drunk, and cars. And then he was like, I realized I'd never written about cars. The rest of it was completely accurate. So this is the sound of a real 1972 Lamborghini Miura, which is one of the most beautiful cars ever. This is Eddie Van Halen's car. They drove it into the recording studio and shoved microphones up the pipes, as they say in the business. So this is his actual Lamborghini.
Had they done several takes, it would have died of carbon monoxide.
Yeah,
Thank God
right.
they got it the
Like,
first
I'm
time.
getting sleepy.
Yeah.
So it just idles, and then the sound of it is so good. And when you hear it in the track, here he comes. Man, if you're a gearhead, your nipples just got hard. And where is that in the song? Ready? It's right here. It's so good. Right, hold on.
Yeah, we're running a little bit hot tonight. I can barely see the road from the heat coming off. I reach down between my legs.
Oh, we're gonna get so good when we get to the vocals. It's ludicrous.
I
All
never
right.
noticed that car sound.
I know. That's once
That's
again.
why he's here.
Did you know, Christian, we hear stuff when you do this we hadn't heard before?
No, really? Oh, we
No
should do a
one's
radio
mentioned
bit based around that. That sounds like a great idea.
A whole show or something.
Of course, on guitar, one of the greats of all time, Eddie Van Halen. What's amazing about his guitar tracks is it's a single take and it's a single guitar, and he never punched in. He never like, all right, I'm going to stop and do the solo.
Wow.
It all had to be done at one time, and he never even used the distortion pedal. It was all how much energy he put into his fingers, she said, smiling.
Oh, that Valerie Bertinelli was a lucky lady for a while.
Yeah, she knew. She knew what's going on. Here it is. The riff. And then this bit. Rock and roll. It's all in there. The blues. Put the bass in. This is Michael Anthony's Business. So this is some jazzy business. Listen to the drums and bass and guitar, just this part. It's so good. That's like math.
Did they plan that or just actually?
Oh no, it's
That's a difficult to break the beat and to do that is very tough.
So hard. And to make it work is even harder inside a pop song. So they're coming out of this bit. Straight to there are probably 30 cover bands in Orange County that just quit because they've been doing this wrong the whole time. Dave, have you listened to KLOS right now? You suck, bro.
We're breaking up.
It's not even close. You got this bit, but even this, like, wow, little growl. Now I love this band. Back to the verse. And this is a song that has a verse, a chorus, a pre-chorus, a post-chorus, and a bridge. This is a song construction. And then we put the drums in. You can hear that like the two brothers play exactly the same. Amazing.
They're just showing off.
They just show
They
it
could have made that
well,
so much simpler.
It's the Van Halen brothers. They show off when they're showing off. All right, so here, of course, is this dude. I mean, how
that's so
on
sexy, that
earth
part.
do you, right?
No, yeah, that's so hot.
the guitars came to life there for a few seconds.
completely.
I don't know
It's
why
like you
that,
went to the Love Boat theme.
that part's so
Which is
good.
awesome.
I love it.
But it starts, so the lead starts with like a complete throwback to like classic blues riff, and then he comes out of it and goes into the thing that, you know, he's sort of like, he doesn't really invent it because the finger tapping had happened prior, but he's the one who makes it the metal sound of metal sounds. And like this bit, classic blues, and then brings his own business, and then out of it. I mean, it's 10 seconds. That's a 10-second guitar solo.
Made it talk.
Yeah. This is amazing. We're getting a little bit hot tonight.
I'm really. Maybe I'm ovulating. I don't know, but I need somebody to make love to me.
The best is out of my peripheral vision. I'm just like, what?
He's not wearing a bra. Look at that.
Don't make him look at that.
It's very good. It's very good. It's what it's supposed to be doing to you.
Well, it's working.
Yep. You get a little bit hot tonight. And then it's building. So simple. Just going up. Step after step. And then the riff. Amazing. And then you put the bass and the drums in. This build is so good. It's so simple, man. Keep it simple, stupid.
That's like having sex, I'm supposing.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like building
Building.
It's there.
Panama!
Meet me behind studs.
That's what you do at the end?
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know why.
You should from now on. Let's all meet back here next Monday. See how
All
that
right,
went.
homework, guys. Got a week.
All right, so on vocals, so Van Hagar is such a great rock band, but it's such a sort of like traditional rock band. There's only one person on the planet who could have sung for this band when they were in their 20s at their most ridiculously Greco-Roman level, and it's Diamond Dave, man. And anybody who talks smack on this dude is a fool. Ooh. He starts like that. Ooh. I mean, right off the bat. Hasn't said anything.
Jumping! What's that sound? Here she comes, full blasting top down.
All right, so let's think about, as you listen to this, that it's not even remotely about a car. There's no way in heck this has anything to do with...
Jumping! What's that sound? Here she comes, full blasting top down. Hot shoe, burning down the avenue.
Boing.
Model citizen, zero discipline.
Michael Anthony?
Don't you know she's coming home to me? You lose her in the turn. I'll get her.
Here comes Michael.
Panama,
Single word chorus.
Panama, Panama, Panama.
That's it.
Ain't nothing like it, a shiny machine. Got the feel for the wheel, keep the moving parts clean.
See what I'm saying? I think it's about his penis.
Yeah.
You know?
Ain't nothing like it, a shiny machine. Got the feel for the wheel, keep the moving parts clean. Hot shoe, burning down the avenue. Out an on-ramp coming through my bedroom. Don't you know she's coming home to me? You lose her in that turn. I'll get her. Uh-oh. Panama.
One word.
Panama.
Genius.
Wow. Panama. Woo.
Guitar solo, and now we get to, I can't believe he didn't get a Grammy for this. He should have. Ready for this bit?
Yeah, we're running a little bit hot tonight. I can barely see the road from the heat coming off.
He got a grant for best spoken word recording.
Somebody sounds like he just woke up or he's hammered and needs
He's
to go to
hammered
sleep.
with his pants down. Like the
In
bit
the
at the
lyric
end.
sheet, what is he saying there?
It says,
Yeah, we're running a little bit hot tonight.
we're running a little bit hot tonight.
I can barely see the road from the heat coming off.
I can barely see the road for the heat coming off, and then this uncomfortable thing he does at the end where he does...
Heat coming off.
Yeah, when he
I
said,
reach down between my legs and ease the seat back.
Nobody's doing the Chris Martin of Coldplay, for Christ's sakes, man. Get out of your own way.
I reach down between my legs and ease the seat back. She's blinding,
And then we're off.
I'm flying, right behind in rear view me now. Got the fearing, power steering, pissing, popping, ain't no stopping now. Panama,
Michael Anthony, you rock star.
stopping now. Panama,
Brilliant.
Panama, 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 Panama.
Well done, Diamond David Lee and the rest of the lads. It's Orange County's very own Van Halen.
How old was he then?
They're in their 20s.
My God.
Like, they're children, man. It's crazy.
He's got
like,
that rasp and
they're,
all that.
They're sort of in
Oh,
the...
they're in Pasadena.
Yeah, they're Pasadena, and the other guys, all of them were from Pasadena. Some of them from not El Monte, but another area. But anyway, they're ours. We own them. So thanks so much for the music. If you haven't listened to 1984, you should. Panama, Jump, Hot for Teacher. I mean, it's just relentless, that album. If you want to come to the next session I'm doing, and there's still tickets available for the Billy Joel, Janis Joplin. But today, the ticket link goes up for the Police-D Boys, which is going to be the Police and the Beastie Boys.
I don't think you needed to tell them that.
Right? You know, some people get
that's true.
confused
You're
by
right,
it. You
you're
know what I'm
right,
saying?
Christian,
It's
yes.
better to err on the side of
Spoon-feed.
caution.
Yeah, I got you.
Police-D Boys is Van Halen and the Beatles. All right? So I'll see you for that one. Ticket link goes out at noon today. If you're going to be in New York this weekend, coming out to the sessions there, I'm really excited to have people come out in New York City. It's good. It's kind of me going home to do my thing. So I'm really happy about that. So I'll see you there. SessionOnAir.com for the ticket link. Christian James Hand on Facebook and King Trut on Instagram. It's a lot of liberal hokum. Don't go there if you're a closed-minded douchebag.
All right, now we have to reach down between our legs and ease the seat, pull out our sorry list, and apologize to those of you that we have.
Sorry to Jimmy Carter, burn victims, Dart League players, and my grill friend.
Gaseous Blob, sex festivals, The Who, and I think Phuket, Thailand.
KCAL 9 newscasters, milk duds, cornholers, and sedentary mice.
Super Mario, Target, and noisy candy eaters in theaters.
Social media influencers, kissy whores, Jupiter, and gay aliens.
The Rock, Native Americans, flat earthers, and fat windmills.
Finger urinators, 4-H Club, Ambers, and people with mononucleosis.
The U.S. women's soccer team, Van Halen, Doc Brown, and Motar, the half-man, half-motorcycle.
Armenians, mom ants, 909ers, and Brandon and Mark's mom and wife that I freaked out on the streets of Oxnard. Sorry about that. You really have to listen to the whole show, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. We are Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.